First of all, I'm Dave Sullivan, the Executive Director of the Housing Authority. And I want to thank each and every one of you for taking the time out of your busy schedules, and I know you have busy schedules. But one of the things that we sort of found over time, and one of the things I've been hearing with Housing Authority staff and the nature of the populations that we serve, is that we as an agency started to feel a little bit like an island out there. And I'm a firm believer that the best way to start to bridge those gaps is to start a dialogue with individuals. So I'm going to first of all tell you what I see as direct problems that we've been experiencing, but I also am looking for this meeting to get input from folks as to what you think that we can do better, or how we may be able to help folks as well. I think that we really need to sort of ramp up the collaborative efforts with people, because everybody in your different agencies or organizations at one time or another need housing. Housing in the hierarchy of needs obviously is one of the most important things that people need. What we have been finding out in a number of our developments is that we have people coming in, oftentimes self-referred. This is a guiltless meeting, okay? But people come in self-referred. Oftentimes they should be affiliated with agencies, or they are, but they're coming in as self-referrals. And they come into housing, and what happens is that we start to learn, and we find out that we've got a problem, because what they're not doing is they're not connected with treatment, they're not connected with the case management services. There are problems out there. And these people will tend, when they decompensate, they will tend to isolate. And what they're doing is isolating within our apartments. Now, we have a social service staff here who works very hard on trying to create the linkages and helping people, but what we find, we're doing it sort of backwards, because what happens is that these people who decompensate, they'll isolate in the apartments, and I'll use mental health first of all as a good example, because I came from that field. They decompensate, people go off their meds or whatever. We really don't have, or haven't had, a whole lot of linkages with people coming in on a case management basis to help check up on these people. And believe me, I'm the first one to know that when people get sick, or for whatever other reasons, oftentimes people will be refusing treatment. So that's why I was hoping to get a dialogue going here, where we could all just sort of talk a little bit about what our problems are, but not just our problems, what you see as far as your agencies, and maybe how we could do things a little bit better, and how we could collaborate. We've also talked about, from an infrastructure point, is a place like Condo Madeiras Towers, which it's had some problems, and we've worked diligently to really resolve a lot of those problems. But we have a population of young disabled, and the HUD definition of disability is very broad. So we have some people who might have substance abuse problems or other types of problems that become a little bit of a challenge. But from an infrastructure point of view, we want to be able to provide an office where agencies can come in and link directly with us in working out solutions and to these problems that we experience. And this is something that the only way we can do this is by communication. So really, I'm going to open this up. We have a lot of different people here from different agencies, and we're all connected in one way or other. When you're in social services, you're all connected, you're all under the umbrella, nobody can run away from it, and that's the way it is. I understand that. I did this for a lot of years, and I'm in a different capacity now, but I just know that we can't run away from it either, because we're all in this together. So with that said, I just preliminary wanted to let you know what I was looking at, what we've been feeling on the Housing Authority side. I'm real interested in hearing from your organizations and from your agencies what we can do at the Housing Authority to make things better, not just with the linkage of services, but I'm thinking about what we're doing with, how we work with the Veterans Agent. I see Ray Haig here. What we can do with children within our developments as well. Domestic violence is a very important issue with us as well. Education, training, all these things I want to throw out on the table. So I might be here sort of as the executive director and sort of facilitating this a bit, but I really want it to be an open dialogue. I really want people to feel that you're invested in this and that we're all going to just listen and try to pull together, because I know I need you folks, and I'm hoping that you realize that when your clients need housing, you need us.
Mr. Sullivan, excuse me, do you mind if we all introduce ourselves
I
and
was
the
getting
agency?
to that too. Go around the table, introduce ourselves. If you got a comment even at this point, feel free to say something. But I'm going to first ask just the Housing Authority staff to go around and identify themselves, okay? Just so you know who my people are who are at the table and working here. So why don't we start with Rita?
Okay, Rita LeBeau, Mixed Population Resident Service Coordinator, and I am the service coordinator for all of the elderly disabled buildings at the Housing Authority.
Good afternoon, my name is Teresa Quintel. I'm the Resident Service Coordinator for the Family Developments. I'm also the Appeal Hearing Officer for the Fall River Housing Authority. If someone's coming into public housing and they're getting rejected for public housing for whatever reason, I make the final decision whether they come into public housing. I also deal a lot with the Section 8 program. If an individual is being terminated from the program for violations, I make a final decision whether to terminate their voucher. I'm also the Reasonable Accommodation Coordinator for...
We wear a lot of hats, I have to tell you.
I'm the
This is all true, right?
Yes. I'm also the Reasonable Accommodation Coordinator for the public housing side. We have a Reasonable Accommodation Coordinator, Deborah Saber, for the Section 8 side. Nice to meet all of you.
Teresa did that by memory.
I'm Joseph De Silva, Family Youth Service Coordinator for Housing Authority. I handle all the family sites, dealing with programs for the kids, trying to bring programs in, create programs, try to find kids jobs, employment opportunity, education opportunities. And I also do another hat. I do lighting surveys, the safety side of it on the nighttime and everything.
John Pickard, Federal Portfolio Manager,
Is that me?
all the federal sites, senior developments, family developments, all the clerks and managers are responsible to me. Also do transfers and private conferences with managers, so on and so forth.
My name is Marin Bad, Minority Community Liaison. I'm working for community population, living for housing. We do all stuff of things, interpretation, translation, medical, or legal, all the kind of stuff.
Tim Burke, Family Self-Sufficiency Coordinator for the Florida Housing Authority, Housing Section 8 side.
I think that's all of us that are here now.
So I go in and check to make sure that the services are going well, and that if there's anything else that they need, any needs, more needs they have. And I'm working my way into that position.